Happy New Year's Eve, friends! I am alive, and I have been doing so many things. Obviously not here on this channel, but I have been doing things. So it is New Year's Eve, and in the celebration of recalling the year that has transpired, I will be taking a look at some of the best that happened in my 2019. So I'm gonna use my handy dandy iPad because if I didn't, obviously I have no idea what happened in my year. And even with it, I'm sure I will leave off some monumental thing that happened in the last 365 days. So if I leave you or the thing or the stuff off of this list, thank you for your understanding. So we're gonna jump right into it, and there may be some clippity-clip things sneaking in here if I have the wherewithal to make that happen today. So I kicked off my 2019 by launching my very first DonorsChoose project to get money for ukuleles for my classroom, and you guys made that happen. I still don't know how to thank you enough for that because those ukuleles have changed the dynamics of my classroom completely. This thing is gonna be all which way and what other, and it's not gonna be in any kind of order. Clearly. Because we're moving into aerial territory already. If you know me, if you follow me, if you watch this channel, then you know that in addition to doing ukulele and being a music teacher, I also do aerial circus training type stuff. And I did a lot of firsts with scary drops this year. I've done a lot of drops, but I think the ones that have scared me the most so far this year. So we'll watch those and see what those look like. I don't know. We'll see what my scared face looks like.
Yes, very controlled.
I did a lot of multi-covers, and I don't know why I call them multi-covers. There's nothing multiple about them except the fact that I use lots of different instruments. And I want to say that those were like some of my favorite videos that I made, and I think according to my analytics, you guys seem to like those a lot. So if you're interested in seeing more of those, please put a comment down in the comments because that's where comments go. Destiny. So yeah, I did a Ghostbusters one. I did one from Orange is the New Black. I did Gentleman Jack and a couple of other ones that I really, really enjoyed. All the lonely people, where do they all belong? I did a lot of ukulele unboxings this year. This was, I think, the first year companies started sending me ukuleles and things to just have them and unbox them. Not paid. It's like not like they're giving me money to do this. I have no paid sponsorships or anything. So anything that you see me unbox is completely just me and my opinion and what's happening in the moment. No one's paid me ever to do an unboxing. And those were super, super fun. I have on this bulleted list online dating adventures. Yeah, that was a big part of my 2019. Dating online is really weird, you guys. But I will say that I discovered that I do enjoy the awkward or extreme first date. I had some interesting ones where upon my own choosing, I decided that we would see Weird Al Yankovic on a first date. Or we would see It 2 in 4D on a first date. It was like having shared trauma immediately to form a bond. It's very important, that shared trauma. I did some collabs. One with Philique Aury was one of my favorites. Going back into the aerial world, I did my first summer showcase, and I was my favorite thing in the world. I was a cat, and I had so much fun doing that performance. I used some music by Leroy Anderson. I think it's called The Waltzing Cat, and I felt like I was channeling my inner Mr. Mistopheles with my outfit, even though in reality I actually designed my costume to look exactly like my cat, because there is no better cat than my cat. I did do some summer traveling. I went to a couple different places. Central Park was a highlight. Seeing Beetlejuice on Broadway in its like opening month was a big thing. I went up to the Rochester International Jazz Fest and got to see Vilray in person. And not to top that one, because Vilray is amazing, but I met and talked to the one and only Jeff Goldblum. And he like talked to me
What's your name? Where are you from? Yes, with your beautiful glasses.
in a microphone.
Destiny.
Yes.
I'm glad I asked. Her name is Destiny. I wish my name was Destiny.
In front of like 4,000 people in this audience. And then I met him backstage and things afterwards, and it was basically the best day of my life. Shortly thereafter, I became an auntie, or an auntie, as we say here in Florida. I became an auntie not for the first time, not for the second time, but for the 13th time. Baby Zach was born in the summer, and I have yet to meet the cutest baby. I mean, this kid has expressions that a child of his age shouldn't have. And I'm really looking forward to meet him. They're coming to visit me in the next month or two. Right? Right? Matt and Pam, you're gonna come visit me? Make it happen. What else? Oh! Live shows. I saw a lot of live shows in 2019. I saw Come From Away, which is an amazing musical, if you haven't seen or heard of it. I saw unexpectedly New Kids on the Block and like a bunch of other people, Salt and Peppa and Tiffany and a lot of people I would have never thought that I would have seen in one concert, and I didn't even know I was gonna go. And in addition to that, I did see the one and only Billy Bob Thornton in concert. Little known fact, he has this whole band that he performs with all the time. I had what I will call my summer of songwriting. I didn't do a lot of posting in the summer because I got kind of wrapped up with some songwriting, and I wrote quite a few songs, and I feel like I've really come into my own in terms of the style of music that I write, and I'm really hoping that in 2020 I can push those songs out in a properly recorded format for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And I also recorded, in a very haphazard kind of way, a very silly song that I wrote about hurricanes. Hunker down and hunker all around. Hunker with your friends. Hunker to the bitter end. So yeah, there's that too. Some of the highlights of things that I did in terms of performance was performing with my Festival Singers of Florida, which is a group that I do a lot of traveling and performing with internationally in like the summers and stuff. But we did our local stuff over the 2019 season, and I really enjoyed that. Actually have another concert with them this weekend. I need to practice for that. And, oh, I did a couple really great concerts at Palms Presbyterian in Jacksonville, Florida. I really enjoyed doing the last service for Pastor Tom Walker in September, a beautiful song called North, which was just really perfect for that last service for him. And then, of course, Lessons and Carols in December. I always love doing that performance. It's like makes my holiday season. You guys can check those videos out in the links below. All this says in all caps with multiple eyes is sick. Sick. Yeah, I got real sick in 2019. Like, for about 2 months, I just could not settle into anything that was a healthy day in 2019 fall, like September, October, parts of November. I really was struggling with my voice. I was really struggling with sinus and chest issues, and it just didn't stop coming. And I was losing my voice as well, just with the teaching stuff. So I went to a speech pathologist for the first time ever. Apparently I still need that speech pathologist. You're doing great, Destiny. Keep it up. So I went to a speech pathologist for the first time, and I got a vocal scope for the first time. And basically what that means is they stick a big, long, very intimidating thing down your throat. They make you sing while that thing is in your throat. And then you get to look at your vocal cords and see if anything is damaged or what's going on. And that was an experience, for sure. I really was nervous because I thought they were gonna have to stick it up into the nose. And I don't do things up the nose. I'm like a cat at the vet when it comes to anything right here. Can't do it. And luckily they didn't have to do the nose thing. They just said, say ah and bleh. So if you're not a medical appreciator, you don't like looking at people's insides, you might want to skip ahead about 30 seconds because I'm going to show you my vocal scope and you'll see what my vocal cords look like on the inside. It's kind of gross, but sort of fascinating. I mean, look at them. They're so pink. Anyways, the good news is that my vocal cords are 100% healthy. So I'm gonna be working to make sure that they stay that way. Other things, my teacher life. I had so many things going on in my teacher life this year. I mean, when I think back to 2019, there were concerts and things I was working on last year that I don't even think about now, and they were all consuming at the time. I had a big Black History Night thing that I did with my kids, a big talent show at the end of the year, and then just this year in the fall semester, I had a huge thing with our trunk or treat at Halloween. I made all of my chorus kids into zombies, and I mean real deal zombies. Flesh, brain, eating zombies. And I taught my entire 5th grade Thriller, and we did the Thriller dance at the trunk or treat, and that was the sweatiest day of my entire life. I don't think me or my kids have ever or will ever sweat that much ever again. Then, in the last 2 months, of course, I have done nothing but the Grinch. My kids did this giant production of the Grinch, and when I say giant, I mean there were 12 scenes. And you're like, who cares? 12 scenes. 12 scenes and 10 music, dancing, singing, jazz hands, numbers in those 12 scenes. And of course, I made all the costumes myself for a full musical version of The Grinch. A lot of this was sponsored by you guys and my DonorsChoose, and I can't thank you enough for helping me make this happen. It was truly one of the most memorable experiences of my life, and so I'm hoping that in turn, it's also one of the most memorable moments for the students that I teach. It was successful, it was hectic, it was so much, and I'm so glad that it's done. I'm laughing like a crazy person because it made me feel like a crazy person. I don't know if I can show pictures of this. I might have to emoji their faces out, so perhaps there's going to be some pictures here of the madness and the mayhem and the wonderfulness that was this Grinch production. Other random things that happened in 2019. I feel like I wore a lot of costumes in 2019. Like there were all these reasons. I know I was a cat for Ariel. Oh, and then I dressed up as Mary Poppins for Halloween. The day after, I was a zombie for Thriller, Michael Jackson. And then, like 2 weeks later, it was Wear Red Day. And so I wore all this red stuff. And then, of course. 3 weeks ago, was it 3 weeks ago already? 3 weeks ago, I was Cousin Eddie in drag. I was Cousin Eddie with the chest hairs and the 5 o'clock shadow for my Ariel showcase, and I did the entire routine in scuba flippers. And that was a huge undertaking for me personally. Trying to navigate aerial silks in general is kind of dangerous and a process. So I decided to make it a little bit more complicated and add, 10 inches to the end of my toes and eliminate a lot of things that you do pretty easily in aerial. So I had to do some of the harder things, which were made even harder with the flippers. And I held a cigar in my mouth the entire time, as Cousin Eddie does. And I had the FUD hat. I had the green guy. That was a huge part of my 2019. That's probably one of the more memorable performances I've ever done in my entire life. And it was so fun. For so many aerial things, I get really nervous, but for this one, I just really, really enjoyed it. I just had the time of my life, and it was so rewarding to see all of the hard work that I had put into the routine come to fruition, and it actually happened. The silk didn't billow, the flippers didn't get caught. I'm so glad that I stuck with it and did it, and it's really a motivating experience to continue doing things like that in the future. Things that I didn't think I was going to be able to do, things I was worried, I'm not going to be able to pull this off. I'm going to crash and die and fall to my death in front of 500 people. You know, those things that go through your head. I mean, if I can do that, why can't I just do all these other things that I want to do? So, yeah. I mean, there's some other silly things, like the gender filter thing that came up in the spring last year, which was pretty horrifying for me. And then even more horrifying than that was the age filter, which I think I won. I mean, look at me. It's pretty bad. Had some fun with friends.
I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before.
Doing weird things. Had a blast with my family at Thanksgiving.
This is really strange. I got you.
Getting knocked in the windpipe. Doing the triangle dance. And then on top of all that, I managed to post 71 videos on this channel. And I, a lot of the time, consider myself a failure at a lot of things that I do, including this channel sometimes. You know, you're your own worst critic. And in the moment, it's easy to think that. But when I look back and realize that over the course of a year, I posted 71 videos, and I feel every week that I was doing that like I wasn't doing enough. And so over the scope though, seeing 71 videos posted is kind of nice. It makes me feel like, okay, I was doing things. I wasn't slacking as much as I feel like I was slacking. Hopefully though, I will be posting twice as many videos as that this year. That's kind of my goal. I want to get back to posting about 150 videos a year and give you guys more music and give you guys more chords and things that you want. And I have plans for that, which you can see in my next video that's probably going to come out tomorrow about my 2020 goals and ukulele resolutions and things like that. So those are my highlights from 2019. What was your favorite thing from your 2019? What was your favorite thing from my 2019? Put it down in the comments below and let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you started following me for the first time this year. No matter what, please hit the like button on this video and then hit the subscribe button over here. I mean, you got one more day to subscribe in 2019. It could be today. Then hit the ding-a-ling bell, and until the next one, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. It's time for outros and thank yous for watching. Now please like and subscribe. Please validate my existence by coming back soon.